Elon Musk is calling out Jeff Bezos to help end Hasan Piker and Twitch. It's coming to a head here in the post-Charlie Kirk world, and we're going to get into it on the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is the fast facts version of the quickest and latest in legal news. If you like this format, please like the video and leave a comment below on what you think. So we're going to get right into it with the presentation today. Of course, I've got a PowerPoint for you. Now, in this follow-up to the post-Charlie Kirk assassination, we've had many people calling for the removal of Hasan. Now, one of the big things that helped with this and really pushed this forward was a certain video by a certain tech tone here, which is the compilation he put together showing, saying, hey, Twitch is corrupt and needs immediate action. Twitch, you must ban Hasan. Now, I cannot play that, or I'm not going to play it on the shorter version because I think it's going to trigger the algorithm with some of the words that are said. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is on YouTube. But I've got a nice summary for you here of Hasan's statements. You can kind of read them for yourself here, saying, yeah, and I'm just going to sub it for a PC word. Delete them, delete those MFers, delete these MFers in the street, let the streets soak in their red capitalist blood. That is the direct quote there. Then you need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these MFers and letting their intestines writhe on stage. And then he follows that with the, Hasan follows that in a different clip with slice them up. Yes, slice them and dice them. There is no way. There is no context. There is no later explanation. There's no in Minecraft you can add to that to make these comments okay, particularly when they are directed towards individuals, directed toward groups, directed towards specific people. These are calls to violence. These are wishing death, in fact, painful death on people for simply being your political opponents. It's completely unacceptable. And this line of thinking is very much what ended up radicalizing an individual to ultimately end up commit the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So this is exactly the sort of behavior that needs to be eliminated from the workplace, from the media, etc. This does not need to be out there. Once again, death threats and calls for direct violence and calls to violence or insurrection have never been protected speech. They've never been something that's out there and been okay. And in fact, if somebody who is the political opposite of Hasan had said this, they would probably be behind bars. They would probably be investigated by the FBI. They'd probably be locked up. But for too long, we've allowed these comments to slip, and we've allowed these comments to go under the rug. And it's only now that we go back and review them and say, no, we need to stop this, we need to clean this up, that we're actually looking at it. And many people, myself included, have been calling for this for a while. Now, actually, I hadn't seen the clip involving the red capitalist blood. That actually, I just saw that one in the compilation. I hadn't seen that one previously. So even I, who's had some interactions with Mr. Piker, did not know about that. That is very, very much not okay. And there's really nothing in terms of explanation or cope or whatever else that can make saying that to an audience of tens of thousands, ultimately millions on the rewatch and people commenting on it. There's nothing that makes that okay. And this is very much the reason why people are celebrating death and calling for more death, is because people like this, like Hasan and his followers, to be clear, because there are others that follow and make similarly crazy statements. These sort of statements are exactly why we're in the position we are today. And it's gotten the notice of Mr. Musk. Mr. Musk is tagging Jeff Bezos, as he knows that Jeff Bezos owns Amazon, which is the parent company of Twitch, saying, what's up here, Jeff? What's going on, Jeff? Now, mind you, Jeff is no longer the CEO of Amazon, but he is the largest shareholder and the executive chair of the board of directors. So he has a lot of say. In fact, I would say it's actually a better position than the CEO because you don't have to run the day-to-day. You just have the most say in the company. So Jeff Bezos can absolutely team up with Musk to stop this. And he's got a massive incentive. I'm going to explain to you why. So there are morality clauses in corporate contracts. I've talked about these before. I'm going to talk about them again here today. You guys really, really need to remember this because this is standard language in almost every corporate contract. They allow for cancellation for anything that would damage the reputation of the company or anything negative for PR, anything that's not going to be positive for PR in the company, they can terminate for that reason. So all of these would have a morality clause tucked into them. So simply for the fact that this is not a good look for the companies and institutions and governments that are engaged, they can terminate these contracts. And these contracts can be terminating contracts with subcontractors or vice versa. So, for example, we had a contractor that was writing a Sonic comic book making crazy statements. Sega could cancel that contract. We have bookstores that have already refused to sell Stephen King based on his comments and what he's been saying, right? And you've got anime and gaming, right? You've got a lot of localizers, a lot of people out there that are absolutely unhinged and making death threats and calls for violence. Companies can terminate that. Conventions, cons can say, we are not permitting violence. And in fact, I would say this is going to be very effective if everybody, all the other streamers out there in their niche, because I know a lot of these guys, maybe you're a bookworm, maybe you like movies, maybe you like games, anime, whatever you like, whatever you nerd out on, the people who are celebrating this, and you know the companies involved. You can bring those names and those social media profiles to the attention of those companies. And they absolutely, triggering their morality clause, can terminate these contracts. And there's some massive ones at stake here. Let's talk about the Amazon contract. So Amazon, once again, Jeff Bezos and Amazon have massive amounts of money at stake, far more than Hasan Piker will ever make in his entire pathetic career online. He's got Amazon has the wild and stormy cloud computing government contract. This is a $10 billion contract. Once again, no amount of Labubu's is going to make that amount of money for Hasan Piker, and that's with the NSA. You've got the DoD Joint Warfighting Cloud Capacity Contract. That is an infinite delivery, infinite quantity, multiple award contract. I mean, this is instead of essentially infinite government money that's on the line, right? Hasan cannot compete with that. You've got the CIA Commercial Cloud Enterprise contract with Amazon. That's got infinite delivery and infinite quantity, right? Duration for 15 years. You've got the U.S. Navy Enterprise Software License. That's $724 million. Then you've got a $1 billion contract, or at least a very large contract, with the GSA, the General Services Administration. That's a federal contract. And you've got many, many, many contracts, not just with the federal government, but with state and local government with Amazon Business. So you've got potentially all these governments, including your local government out there, guys. And by the way, if you're liking this stuff, like the video right now. Your local government can cancel its contract with Amazon. There are competitors. There are other vendors that can do these services. Amazon is not the sole provider that can do these services. They can intervene. They can come in, and that's why you can and will and should contact your local senator, your local member of the House, your local politicians, your state representatives. All these guys should know, hey, we want you to look into Amazon because they are responsible for Twitch and they're responsible for Hasan's statements. Beyond that, you've got, and this is a post I had on Twitter. And by the way, I noticed a lot of you aren't following me on Twitter. So you want to follow at The Legal Mindset. That's the correct one, not some fake anonymous account. At The Legal Mindset. That's my Twitter. But I dropped this one over where cancel this contract with the Twitch parent company, Amazon, unless they take corrective measures to remove violent speech from Twitch, such as removing creators like Hasan, who glorify violence and celebrate American deaths, trigger your contract morality clause. So Amazon has a 3-launch contract with SpaceX. SpaceX can terminate that contract. They can say, you know what, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Elon can do it right now. Elon can do it today. Beyond that, people are going to say, oh, it's not fair. It's not fair. Guess what happened before? If you guys have a memory, if you remember back in June, when Trump was fighting with Musk, Trump decided, hey, I'm threatening to cancel SpaceX's contracts. Well, guess what? They've still got that power. They've still got that power to cancel any and all contracts they would have with Amazon, with any of the related companies. That's all on the table here if they don't take action, right? That's very, very much fair play. So what can you do? You can contact Amazon. You can post the video showing the promotion of violence and tag Amazon, tag government officials, tag Elon. Contact your politicians, federal, state, local. Encourage companies to seek alternative contracts with vendors other than Amazon. So say, hey guys, listen, go to their competitors. Go to somebody else. You don't need to go to Amazon unless they fix this problem. If Amazon is unwilling to fix this, they need to go. And now a little bit of tips here. This is something that somebody pointed out to me and something I said on another video. Treat this like sales. When you're making these calls, making these emails, treat it like a sale. First of all, start with consideration of the other people and their perspective and time. Obviously thank them for their time. Thank them for listening. Be very polite and express why this issue is urgent. Hey, this just happened with Charlie Kirk. There's other people at risk here. This is something that others are going to try to repeat. We need to remove violent individuals and the promotion of violence ASAP, right? Give them specific names or actions. Hey, we want you to cancel this contract. Hey, we want you to terminate this relationship. Hey, we want you to stop doing X. Let them know and offer to help them if needed. If they need information, if they need social media profiles, they need clips, videos, offer to forward them all of that. And you might want to link them to the video, like Tectone's video out there on X. You can download that video, get it out there, and say, hey, look, take a look at this video. This is what's being said on Twitch, which is a subsidiary of Amazon. This is an Amazon, baby company, a subsidiary of Amazon. Hey, look at what's going out there. This is not appropriate, right? And last, this is very important. I want to add this to the end, and this is something that I know. Please say thank you. Complaints and raging emails are routine. A lot of people get raging emails and complaints. Very few people get thanks. Many times, many employees have never heard the word thank you in their career. Be polite in your communication. Be thoughtful in your communication. Use thoughtful language and precise wording. Do not be hateful. Do not yell and scream and demand they do something. Be thoughtful. Be precise. Be better. Right? Be better than the people screaming and reeing out there, and go in with a mission, go in with a goal, go in with an objective to get these relationships broken with anybody that's going to promote violence, or any platform or business that does not remove people that promote death and violence. It's not acceptable. And remember, saying thank you is free and it helps everybody. You feel better after saying thank you. Like right now, guys, I'm going to say thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for being in my audience. And thank you for all the support and love you've given, despite whatever topics I cover on the internet. I appreciate you, and there's no way I can repay you for what you've given me and what I have in my life because of you guys. See that? Doesn't that feel good for everybody? Guys, take care with all those around you. Say thank you to all those in your family, friends, all those you work with, and I will catch you on the next one.